I'm Bryce Pappenbrook, and I play Kirito.
My name is Jeremy Lee, and I play the role of Asuna in Sword Art Online.
My name is Cassandra Lee Morris, and I play Lifa/Sugaha in Sword Art Online.
My name is Todd Habercorn. I play Oberon in the online world and Sugo in the real world.
My name is Stephanie Shea, and I voice Yui.
My name is Alex Von David, and I did the adaptation and directed the English dub for Sword Art Online.
I always have just such an amazing time, and I wish I could just start again from scratch. It's, bittersweet when you finish, and I would love to just hit the reset button and start again.
When we finished recording the entire series, my honest reaction was, is that all? Please don't let that be all. Because the journey was so intense for the characters, and I think specifically for Asuna, the way, the first half of the series ended. You were so ready to come back for more, and I watched that, and I needed to take a break because I was so emotionally distraught. But then once we got into season 2, I felt like all of the characters triumphed so much, and I wanted to see kind of where they go after that and see a little bit more. So I was sad that was it. I wanted more.
So my first thought after recording was, woo, we're done! And then my second thought was, I really wanted to know what happened to Lifa next. Because, she goes through this huge emotional, really trying emotional time. And then, she kind of becomes okay with it at the end. And then I wanted to know what happened next. I wanted to know, I have no doubt that she found love after, but I want to know who it was and what happened and what her relationship was like with Kirito after all that happened. Yeah, so I just really wanted to know more.
I feel sad. Because it's over. Actually, when I heard about the show, it was like, so many episodes, many, multiple seasons, and then I was like, oh, and then I feel like it just was over really quickly. So I feel a little sad.
Well, I was sad that it was over. Kind of every show that I've worked on so far, there's kind of on the last day of recording, after the last person, I just sort of go home and I sit there for an hour. I don't eat or anything. I just sort of sit there and just go, oh, well, I guess that's over. It's kind of sad. And especially on this show, too, it was kind of like, I wish we could keep going with these characters and, of course, with the actors and stuff. I've become so close to some of them, like Bryce. And so it's kind of like, well, now I don't get to see them tomorrow and work with them, so it's kind of sad.
Well, it was fun to be a part of this show because I had heard a lot of great things and a lot of buzz about it before even getting an audition for the show. And it's always fun to be involved with shows like that because that if there's buzz behind it, that usually it means it's well written, it's the animation is great, the characters are very inventive and they grip you. So it was fun to step into the world and be like, this is what everybody's talking about, and to be a part of it.
There are lots of different scenes throughout the series that I really enjoyed. I think one of my favorite is towards the beginning of the series inside Einkrad, when Kirito is fighting some bandits when he's protecting Silica. Well, I don't want to give away the whole story, but basically he's being attacked and they can't hurt him because he is such a higher level than them. He's almost like a god in this game, and he's just, at that one moment, he's just super cool, and it was really awesome being able to play that part.
There were so many. I love all of the cabin stuff with Asuna and Kirito, and then the Yui, that whole arc with them as a family. I thought that was really sweet. I really love all the fighting stuff. I never get to feel so awesome other than when I'm recording a fighting scene and you just go from reaction to reaction and just you feel really badass, which I can't really do that on the street. I would get arrested. So those were really cool. And the cooking scenes were fun because I'm a horrible cook and she's amazing. So that was really cool. And she has so many, she's such a great side of being this great fighter and really goofy, and then this really sensitive, vulnerable side that she shares with Kirito. So it was a great balance, and there's so many levels and dimensions that I got to play, which was very, very fun.
My favorite scene is definitely when Kirito confronts Lifa in her bedroom, and they're talking through the door, and then she opens the door and she just like pours her heart out. She's just so vulnerable in that moment. It's the thing that I remember the most because it was so moving and so powerful for me. So that was definitely my favorite scene. And it's like, you know, my character's whole story arc, it leads up to that one moment. So that's definitely hands down my favorite and most memorable.
I think that the most memorable scene for me was when she realized that she was AI and that she was explaining everything. Because it was like, I mean, from an acting perspective, it was there was a lot of things going on, you know, like in terms of remembering. And then also it was her saying goodbye and her sacrifice. So there was all sorts of things. It was so it was very sad and very memorable. And so I think that was probably like my favorite scene.
I think my favorite scene is kind of when Bryce, when he is victorious in the online world. I mean, because that's just a brutal way to go. I don't know. I mean, I guess if people have seen it at this point, but man, getting impaled on the sword and cut in half, and I mean, that's something that I've not. Very rarely do you see that. I mean, have I seen that in the shows that I've been on? So it was cool to kind of see a scumbag as bad as my character kind of get his comeuppance, which is kind of on par with... Because a lot of times when you see villains get theirs in shows, they like either blow up, they get shot, and they die, and it's like, okay, he's dead, but that wasn't... He really didn't pay for it. And in this one, I felt like my character, I paid for what I'd done, so it was fun to see that.
My favorite scene, believe it or not, is when Asuna and Kirito are in bed, and they're just sort of talking to each other. I really like that, and especially after it was all mixed and stuff. It really, really sounds like just two people having a conversation. It doesn't feel like a cartoon anymore. It doesn't feel, fake. And Sheremy and Bryce did such a great job playing it just very sort of simply and honestly. And I think that's my favorite scene, actually. Oh, and then there's another one. It's the revelation and confrontation between Lifa and Kirito when Lifa finds out who Kirito is and Kirito finds out who Lifa really is, and that moment that starts inside the game and then concludes. Well, it sort of concludes. It actually reaches its sort of boiling point in real life, and then it has its little conclusion in the game. That whole sequence or section was really that I really loved too, because I think Cassandra and Bryce just did such a great job keeping it honest and doing a great job.
In a way, the game hasn't ended for me yet, and I guess that's why. I still haven't figured out how I fit in at home or with you. Not yet, anyway.
Nice. Just a little more support. You just might need to speed up that last part a little bit, and I say maybe don't try and pull the heartstrings so fast up top.
Okay. In a way, the game hasn't ended for me yet, and I guess that's why. I still haven't figured out how I fit in at home or with you. Not yet, anyway.
It's really hard to narrow it down to just one particular moment, but I would say I really enjoyed the battles and the epicness of it all. There's a couple battles in particular where Kirito delivers the finishing blow and screams extremely loud, and even though it was tough and painful at times, I really enjoyed doing that. I think the Einkrad arc I liked better because I felt like the pressure was on, even though it's over a longer period of time. I felt like the pressure was really on them and the stakes were a lot higher. The fairy arc felt a little lighter, even though it was still very high stakes, and it happened just over a couple days. But I still feel like I like the Aincrad arc. It's kind of tough to beat that insanity.
If I die in the game, I'll die in real life.
I think probably all of the fight scenes and just getting to see her transition in the second season from being very captive and broken, and seeing her really rally and take care of herself, because she only had herself to get out of there. And I thought that was a really nice moment, because she could have just completely given up, and I really appreciated the way that they wrote her to kind of rally, and that was really a really awesome thing to get to play, and very inspiring to see an anime character take such a leap, and especially a female character put it all in her own hands.
Everyone in the assault team's working their butts off to clear the dungeon. And where do I find you? Out here, taking a nap. Even if you're a solo player, you should take this more seriously. I'm sorry? Okay. Everyone in the assault team's working their butts off to clear the dungeon. And where do I find you? Out here, taking a nap. Even if you're a solo player, you should take this more seriously. Bryce, I am acting. Settle down. Bryce won't ever let me do my acting.
It's really offensive. Can we talk to him about that, please? I mean, I love him, but I'm trying so hard. He just doesn't respect me as a performer.
I work better by myself anyway. Besides, most of the time, instead of helping, party members just get in the way.
Oh, yeah?
My bad.
I really enjoyed playing Leafa because she's a very strong female lead, and, strong female leads are, they're hard to come by, and I just felt honored to be able to play that character. She's really tough in the game, she's a leader, and I really admire that. And then she goes through this her heart doesn't just get broken, it gets, smashed into thousands of pieces. And to be able to bring that to life was just amazing. And then at the end, she heals and she picks herself back up, and she's like, I'm going to go on, and I'm going to be strong and do this. So, I went through a lot of emotions when I was playing it, but I was just grateful to be able to have the role. It's definitely the most emotionally complex role that I've ever had in an anime.
Please stop. Just go back to how you were. You mean so much to me.
Leafa, she's very emotional and she goes through a lot, but she does have her moments, especially when she's flying around. That was fun to play. And when she was battling, too, that's always fun to do, because you can be, a badass.
Looks like you're starting to get the hang of it. Now, follow me!
Okay.
Take it slow until you get better at it.
Don't worry about me. We can go faster.
Okay.
Well, I think I just like the sense of, in terms of what do you say, crew, the team, so to speak, Alex and yourself and everyone just feeling like a big happy family group, and also, even though we record separately, Bryce and Jeremy, I've gotten to know. Jeremy didn't really know as well, but now I've gotten to know, and so I really do feel like a family. I don't feel like Bryce and Jeremy's daughter, but I do feel like a family bond connection, so it feels really special. So, and I know that a lot of fans were very excited about the show, so all that excitement it just makes the work that much more fun.
Yes. The engine, programming, and graphics format are exactly the same. The cardinal system needs updating, but that's the only thing that sticks out to me.
Yeah, it was all M&S. In the beginning, it was a little bit weird, the whole daddy-mommy thing. Like, to be honest, for me, like, I thought it was a little bit weird. But then by the end, I don't want to give anything away, but by the end of the series, it was, like, super sweet. You know, like, you really felt like, oh.
How about you call me whatever's easier for you?
Daddy.
Me?
Aona is Mommy. Okay. I'm Mommy. That works. Mommy!
Okay.
You smell lovely. Figuring out how to replicate the way you smell in real life was a challenge. And don't even get me started on how hard it was to get an analyzer into your hospital room undetected.
Oberon is a little bit different from other roles that I've played. I typically will play, luckily, the hero or like the kid that the nerdy kid. I've branched out into villains more in the recent years, but as far as Oberon goes, this is kind of the slimiest villain that I've gotten to play. Second, probably only to they're probably neck and neck like Apos from Rin. But they're both kind of cut from the same cloth. But Oberon is very, very creepy and not somebody that I would want to run into on the online world for sure. Happy to play him though, but creepy. It's always fun to be able to do things that you can't really do in real life. Not that I want to, but it's fun to be challenged in that way and to see a character take actions that might not even occur to you or that you would never do yourself, and to kind of wrap your mind around that and say, okay, so even though Todd, the actor, wouldn't do this or doesn't agree with this, how do I make that to where I want to do that and I like that and that's what I want to do, so that when I'm doing the lines and doing the character, that it flows out of me naturally because it's what I want to do. So it's a fun challenge.
You can do whatever you want. I have no say in the matter. You're the system admin, after all.
Such cold words from such a pretty mouth. Now, have I ever laid a hand on you when you didn't want me to, Titania?
I had a couple really memorable moments at some conventions I attended. I was able to meet the creator of Sword Art Online and watch the first 2 episodes with him, and with about 1,000 other people seeing them for the first time in English, and it was just an amazing experience. No one knew who was playing the role of Kirito, and I kind of snuck in the back, and when they announced it, no one knew I was sitting up front, and I jumped up, and it was just awesome. It was awesome. I also met the Japanese director, Mr. Ito, and it was really cool to talk to him about the Japanese actors' experience playing the role. And he told me how insane their screams were, because that was one of the things I wanted to know, because they are just epic, massive screams. And he said that the Japanese actor would scream so loud that he got nosebleeds. And fortunately, I didn't get nosebleeds, but I definitely strained a lot of vocal cords. Alex, the director, always says break a tonsil, and there were some tonsils broken throughout the recording. With this show, it's really awesome to be able to watch it for the first time with fans on Cartoon Network and Toonami. And I've had the experience to watch it at the same time as them and talk with them over social networks like Twitter. And I've also had the experience of sitting in the same room as people and seeing the show live on Toonami and Adult Swim. And it's incredible. It's so awesome when you're able to feed off the energy of others and enjoy it with them. It's just an amazing experience. And there's still plenty more shows to be seen on Toonami, plenty more episodes, so I hope I get more opportunities to watch with people. I just recently learned how to play the card game at a convention, and now I'm going to play against Shermie, who plays Asuna, and we're going to tag team against any challengers out there, and Kirito and Asuna are going to start dominating at the card game. So people better watch out.
Getting to audition and get cast in the show and then getting to watch the show is a very exciting process because I love the show and I've never gone through a series so quickly. I mean, I was staying up late going, I can watch one more episode. Look at the computer and I'm like, oh, it's 6:30 in the morning. I totally watched these through the night, and it was just so addicting. So to get to work on a show that I really loved was very exciting. But then when we got to go to Anime Boston and premiere the show, to see the fans' reactions and to see how enthusiastic everyone was and to get to meet the director and the producer, I mean, those are like experiences that you could never even imagine. And then Bryce and I went to the Aniplex panel and found out that it was going to be on Toonami, and it was just like, it was a whirlwind weekend, and it was just such a tremendous, it's like the ultimate voice actor fan experience was that weekend, so that was so amazing. I love working with Bryce. I think he's so talented, and he's such a humble, great person, and I love going to conventions with him because he and I are very, very similar in that we are both sincerely very excited about everything that happens, and we're wide-eyed going, oh my gosh, look, there's your character, look, they're cosplaying as you, and we're like two fans that get lost, and we literally do get lost because I'm not very tall, and he's not as tall as some, so we could get in a lot of trouble. We wouldn't be found in a crowd of people. Well, I was at a convention and somebody was telling me about the cards, and they said, yeah, you got to check it out. They have Sword Art Online. And I walked into the dealer's room and I just wanted to look at them, and they said, well, it's a game, so you can, they just sucked me in, and I have to figure out how to play the game. I'm very tentative about it because a bunch of people are like, well, play me at a convention. I'm like, how bad would that be if the voice actor loses with her so I have to practice and get really good at it. But I wanted to see if I could get various shows and get various decks and put them all together and have like the ultimate fighting deck. But I have my exclusive card, which I don't think I'm gonna play. I think I'm just that's gonna be on display. But yes, I do collect them, and someone asked me to sign one of their cards, and I was very hesitant to do that. It's like, this is sacred territory. I can't sign this for you. I'll sign anything else, but not this. You have to play this. So it's very fun.
Well, it was definitely really exciting to find out that this was going to be airing on Toonami. So the moment that I found that out was really exciting. And then I was just at a convention, and a fan came up to me with a Sword Art Online poster, and he was like, I just want to say that Leafa deserves Kirito. And I was like, that was like really touching. And it's just so nice to hear stuff like that from fans. Like, I'm like tearing up now. But it was just, I was like, oh, she does. So it's always nice to like talk to fans and, you know, hear their take on the series and on my character. I don't really play online games, but I'm getting really into card games. Like, I just learned how to play the Sword Art Online game, so that's pretty cool. And I just learned how to play the Lord of the Rings deck building game, so I'm like really into that. So I'm really into card games. Virtual reality stuff I haven't really gotten into, but I don't know, I guess I'm more of like a real life, like I like to have the real life interaction with people while I'm playing.
Working on the show and recording it here at this awesome facility. In fact, this is like the studio where Conan, he recorded and Conan O'Brien was in there. I was like, oh man, I'm in the studio Conan was in. But one of the best memories was just working with Alex and you, Hiroe. It's cool because you guys know the show better than I do. And it shows that you have a passion for getting it right and making sure that it's not as I'm sure you guys do with all the shows you work on, but making sure that it's not just another show that's being put out the door, but that you guys really care about it, and it's, you know, it's linked into your livelihood, and so you really give 100% to it. And especially Alex is like, man, every word, he's like, if the word "the" is in there, it's there because he wants it to be there, not because it's just something that needs to be there. So, which has its challenges at times, because there are things that maybe you're seeing or that he's seeing that I don't get. I'm like, what's the problem with that line? Like, this seems great, but in the overall arc of the show and the journey, he has a method to that madness, and so it's cool to sit back and watch that happen, and for me to kind of stick to my side of things and worry about my singular journey as a character and kind of let him be the maestro, you know. So that was fun.
Well, it's impossible not to pick Kirito as your favorite, so I'll say other than Kirito, I really like Silica. I just think she's such a cute little character, and gotta love a character with a dragon.
I found a fan posted on one of the fan pages a quiz of which character, Sword Art Online character, are you? And I took the quiz and I got Kirito. So I guess that I really love the character. I also really love Yui. I think she's adorable, and she's so giving and has so much integrity for doing the right thing no matter what happens to her, and can destroy her. But as far as like a performance goes, I don't like the character at all. I don't like the character of Oberon, but it was really interesting to get to see Todd play something that was totally different, and he scared me and creeped me out a lot. So that was good.
My favorite character in Sword Art Online, besides Lifa, is definitely Yui, because she's so cute, and I like how loyal she is. And I like how she just randomly pops out of Kirito's pocket.
I really like Cherami's character, Asuna, because I've done a lot of shows with Cherami, and I know the types that she plays, and so it's fun to see her be able to play a kind of the heroine, but and be vulnerable, but then also have strength at the same time. Because shows that I've done with her, she has a very broad paintbrush of strength that is that is a little less nuanced because of the show. And in this one, there's a lot of opportunity for her to have different levels and as far as on her journey, and be able to deal with those things that come her way. And so it's fun to see that, and to see her get to go to those places.
I guess my favorite character would be Lifa Suguha, because I liked the drama that was going on inside her, and the conflicts and stuff, and I loved how Cassandra played her, it was just one of those characters where I think that stuck with me more than any of the other characters. I mean, there's so many in this show. Silica's super cool. Lisbeth is awesome. Even Sugo, the ultimate bad guy. That was my first time really working with Todd Haberkorn, and I was like, wow, this is so great. I mean, he just brought so much to that part, and so much just nastiness. But he's such a great guy just in person that it was just like, oh my god. But yeah, I guess ultimately I'd have to say Lifa and Sugo.
If I could talk to Kirito, I would tell him to pay a little bit more attention to what's going on, because the rule for this show is all ladies love Kirito, and if he paid a little more attention, he might pick up on that a little bit more. I mean, that might be part of his charm, that he has no idea what's going on ever, but if he paid a little bit more attention, he might notice a little bit more.
I loved the opportunity to get to play such a fantastic female character, and I honestly wish her all the best with Kirito, and I want to see more, and I want to learn more, and I want to get to experience more, because I love her so dearly. So, and she needs to try to teach Kirito how to cook and not be so hard on him, because though he'll probably never be as good as she is, she needs to just accept that and be a little nicer, because she can be a little harsh about that with him.
I would tell her that I'm incredibly proud of her, that she's very strong, that she has experienced the kind of heartbreak that many people never experience in their lives, and the fact that she's been able to pick herself up and move on speaks volumes about her character. She's a wonderful person, and she will find love. Leafa, you will find love. Do not give up.
To not stress out about not knowing where she came from. Although she didn't seem that stressed out, it didn't seem to bother her that much that she didn't know, who she was or where she came from. But I think it would be more that, like, you have more potential than you think, and that, don't worry, everything's going to sort itself out type of message.
Maybe he needs to invest in a Wii U and play some kind of more family-friendly games. Maybe that'll loosen him up and lighten him up. I mean, Nintendo Land has some great games. There's like a little Luigi's Mansion to find little ghosts. It's a lot safer. It's a lot less harmful for people. I would say start there and make baby steps into the Sword Art Online world. But start small, start kid-friendly, and take breaks often, as Nintendo says.
Thank you so much for watching Sword Art Online and buying the Blu-ray. I hope you enjoy all our blood, sweat, and tears and tonsils that were lost in the making of this show. Thanks so much for watching.
For all the Sword Art Online fans, thank you so much for supporting this show. And I love getting to see you at conventions and getting to message you on Twitter and get to do the live feeds while you guys are watching the show and seeing how excited you are. And I can't wait to see you and keep talking about this and play the card game when I get better at it. So I truly appreciate you all so much. And we wouldn't be able to do this if not for you. And the show would not be able to be such a success without you. So thank you so much.
Hi guys, it's Cassandra, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for tuning in and watching Sword Art Online. I'm honored to play Leafa, and I hope that you like her. I love to keep in touch with fans and hear what you thought about the series, so please find me online. My Twitter is @SoCassandra, and my Facebook page is /ILoveCassandraLee. Yeah, keep in touch, and thanks for your support. Bye.
Hello, SAO fans! Thank you for watching. We were doing great numbers on Cartoon Network, so that's awesome. Thank you. And we've been going to conventions and seeing you guys come out and support the show, and it's been super exciting, and seeing all the wonderful cosplay. So thank you so much for making the whole experience awesome.
Guys, I want to congratulate you for being smart people. And how do I know you're smart? It's because you're watching this show and you've seen it all. And this show is full of fantastic animation, wonderful voice actors, and I get to kind of ride their coattails, so that's fun. Great direction, great writing, and I just want to congratulate you for a job well done, audience. Nice! And hopefully there'll be more. So, see ya.
Hey everybody, Alex here. So thank you very much for buying the set. I hope you enjoy the show. I don't know if you saw it on Toonami first or if you're just going in blind. If you're going in blind, you better not watch any of these interviews because there's probably lots of spoilers. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks again for supporting it and for supporting us. And have a great time with it.